5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dear friends, I'd like to welcome you to Data Science Live. My name is Mr. Campanell, and I will be doing a little bit of live coding with the R programming language, enjoying a bit of mukbang, if that's how it's pronounced. I've got a delicious California pizza here, and hopefully provide a little bit of companionship for the next few minutes. This is my first episode, and I'd like to welcome you and for joining me here to do Data Science Live. So let me loosen my tie a little bit here, and let's get started. So what you see right here on my screen is the RStudio client. And this allows me to do where I do most of my programming is in this environment. It's called an IDE, and it allows you to really kind of do a lot of your R programming, your visualizations, knowing where all your data is. It's really wonderful. I had been programming R a little bit before this client came out. Once RStudio came out, I was really fully on board with getting and doing R on a regular basis. So let's get started. I'm going to do my first piece of code here, and first thing I'm going to do is bring in the libraries for this project here. So I'm going to bring in two libraries that we're going to need for this project. The first one is going to be, let's do it. We're going to bring in dplyr. Right? This is one of the core libraries in the tidyverse for R. It can do a really lot of things. It's one that I would really suggest being one of the first libraries and packages to learn when you're learning R. And then the second one I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in reader. And this will allow me to read in a data file and bring it into this environment. So I've got my two libraries. What I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight my code here, and I'm going to hit the run button right up here. And down here in the console, we see that the two libraries have been executed. So now it is time to bring in the data. And to bring in the data, I'm going to use a data file from the city of Seattle, and it is a data table based on pretty much public art, all the public art in Seattle, Washington. Now, I cheated a little bit here because I already have the data, the URL for it copied, because I'm just going to be reading it off the internet. So I'm just going to put a little bit of comment here. Okay. Read public art data. And I do my comments a little bit quirky. I always kind of put them above the line, put a little bit of lines in there, some spaces, so we kind of know it. So I'm going to call this, I'm going to call it public art. Public and underscore art. Okay? And we're going to use the read CSV command to read it in. As you can see, this comes from the reader package, the library that I'm using here. Read CSV. And then I'm just going to go over here and just copy this, what I need to copy. I'm just going to paste it in here. Okay? So this is where it's pulling in from the city government of Seattle. I'm going to highlight it and run. Okay, so in my console down here, it's showing us all the columns and the data types. It looks like we have mostly everything character except the longitude and latitude are coming out as doubles. If you go into the environment window here, you can click on this little arrow, and it'll drop down, and it's going to show you your variable names, the data types, and give you a little view of like the first 4 or so records in here. Now, if you want to get in a little bit more detailed, what I like to do is I will double click, all you need to do is single click it on, and you'll see this view command pop up in your console, and you get to see the data in the window. This is really kind of what I like to do to kind of get a good feel for my data set. So we've got an ID, we have the project where it is, the artist's first and last name, the title of the public art, sometimes there's a description, there is a classification, tells you what type it is, tells you what media the art was created with, gives you dimensions, gives you some date information that looks all over the place. It gives you a location, description of where it's at, the address, and the longitude and latitude of the public art. So that's our data set, and now we're going to kind of go into the core thing of this cast, and we're going to focus on the filter function in dplyr. So what the filter function does is it allows you to kind of select rows of the database that you want to look at. And why this is useful is you may have a big data file, it's got all kinds of stuff in there, and your analysis is really just about, I want to take a look at a little bit of things that are within this data file. So I'm just kind of going to go back into taking a look here at the data set, and really I want to take a look at this classification and just kind of go through here. We've got sculpture, environments, installation. Let's do art installations, okay? So I'm just going to copy that. I'm a copy and paste guy. Learn how to copy and paste. It's going to save you so much work when you're doing programming. So I'm going to create a data set called installations. So I'm going to make a little comment here. And we'll call it installation. And we're going to take the public art. I'm going to use the pipe command. And the pipe command takes the output of your data set and throws it into a function. And the function that I'm going to use today is the filter function in dplyr. And I'm going to say classification equals installation. And equals, you have to use 2 equal signs in the filter function. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to run it. And if we look over here, we have another data set with 13 observations. So I want to take a look at what all the installations are. I'm going to click it on here. We have 13 of them. Oh, could this be? I see duplicates in this data file. Yes. Making the visible invisible, making the visible invisible, and evolving wing and the gravity of presence. These are duplicate records. I don't want to have duplicate records in my data set. Okay? So making the visible invisible, I'm going to make this row invisible in my data set. And I'm going to also make this row invisible in my data set. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to add another pipe here. And I'm going to put another function in here called distinct. And that's another dplyr function. And right now we've got 13 observations. There were 2 there were two records that were duplicates. So I'm going to just kind of run this and get to this. And now we only have 11 records here. So this is really good for getting rid of duplicates. So now that I've done that, guess what I have to do? Yes, I got to fix my camera again, because now it just blew up on me again. First episode, of course. I have no idea. Okay, we're going to stop at client again, and we're going to start it. Oh, it's blown up. Okay, take it down. Sorry about this, folks. I'm going to try to get this edited in the video. All right, I'm going to get this thing edited. We're going to put this on. Okay, let's get this a try. I'm going to have to find a way to fix this. No. Try again. Oh, you got my hopes up. No. Okay, try again. Let's try this. This isn't going to work, but I'm going to try to connect again. Nope. One more. Nope. Ah! Please. All right. Let's throw this camera off here. Okay. I know this is always going to happen on your first one. Nope. Guess what you get to watch me do today? You get to... That's my son giving me the what there. Yeah, you get to watch me try to fix my technology that doesn't work. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, look at this. Now I'm upside down. Okay, and let's get my camera in the right place, sort of. All right. Okay. Sort of. I don't like that one. Okay, I got my loose tie. Here we go. Well, whatever. It's been too much here. All right, let's get back here. No, we're not going to get back here. We're stuck again. Oh, okay. This is just going to be an audio cast, all right? How come it works on my Zoom calls and it doesn't work here? Because you're doing it live, that's why. Okay. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to try again on another data set. Let me try this. I wanted to look at environments. And here we go. Let's go. MENTS. Okay. Public art. Pipe. And we're going to use our filter command again. Filter. Classification equals. Okay, and then I'm going to take a look over here. Do I have any environments? Yeah, I got environments. I'm just going to copy this. Put it in here and run it again. And so we've got 19 environments. So for me, I'm a little bit curious. We have installation and environments. So what's the difference, right? What is the difference? So I'm going to open this one up again. And I'm just going to take a little bit of the descriptions. Now these descriptions, we see these little dots over here, and they kind of run on over and over. So here is I'm just going to mouse it over. The nice thing about RStudio is you can just take your little mouse over and on these terms, and it'll display it for you. So these are planters. Okay. All right. This one is eyelet and stair risers. Okay. Series of rocks with a mosaic walkway. Okay. So environments tend to take a lot more of nature, it looks like, into their kind of natural art installations, to where maybe an installation is really a lot of media and artwork that's kind of out into the public. Okay, so it doesn't really have kind of the bring in a natural element to it. So I'm going to give it a pause right now. I'm going to let you open up RStudio, come over here, take a look at my code, and have you guys give it a try. Now is the mukbang segment, and I have to get my camera. I have to get my camera ready for this, okay? Because this is where I sit here and I eat pizza. Okay, and I've got a delicious pizza on the menu here that, okay. Mukbang Tang, California pizza, yes. Yes, look at that. Artichokes, roasted red peppers, feta cheese, Greek oregano. Yes. Okay, code away here. Let me put this thing down. Look at my code over here, right? Look at my code. Give it a try. I'm going to give you 5-10 minutes while I eat some pizza here. My son's sitting next to me looking at my pizza. My son is sitting next to me looking at my pizza. Okay? Okay, let me get the slice off of here. He's grabbing it. He can't. He's playing Fortnite with his friends, but I won't let him talk. Okay. Pizza time. You know how on the food shows, when they take the first bite, they always say, delicious? Didn't do that. Two pieces already down. What do we got? 6 more to go. I'm not gonna eat all these 6 pizzas. If this was true mukbang, I would eat all 6 of those pizzas, and then I probably would eat fried chicken, and then I probably would eat stir-fried noodles. But I'm just gonna have a couple more pieces here, and then we'll get back and do a recap. How's it coming along on the coding? I hope you are giving it a try. I hope it's working for you. Hope you were able to download the file and get it read into our studio. We'll do about 1 more minute. I got 1 more minute on the pizza, and we'll get ready to do a recap. Okay, it's time to do our recap. First thing we want to talk about here is, first thing we did was we brought in our package libraries into that we were going to use for this demonstration. Do you know? Yeah, that sparkling water is kind of giving me the hiccups. Okay. So maybe I shouldn't have sparkling water on my on the next episode that we do. So brought him in, hit the run button. That allowed us to bring him in. Then we brought in our public art data set from the city of Seattle. We used an internet connection to read it in. This is really nice that you can just pull it in right off the internet. Lots of times it eliminates the need for having to download it and then read it in. So brought it in. You can see it'll give you all the column names and the data types, and then we use the filter function, which is our theme for this episode, to look at all the installations, and we had duplicate records, so I had to use the distinct function that's also in dplyr to kind of get rid of those duplicates. So we did run on that, and then just took a look at another data set, the environments, because I wanted to kind of compare the difference between the what's an environment and what's an installation. So I hope you have learned a little bit here on the very first episode of Data Science Live. I really appreciate you watching the episode here, and hope I provided a little bit of companionship along the way. Next episode, I'm going to focus on something that probably should have done the first time, and that's how to install packages into our studio. And you're going to have to, bring in a lot of these packages on your own that you're going to need to do kind of the analysis that you want to do. So one thing that I'd like to ask you to do is to subscribe or follow my channel here, Data Science Live, and then turn on notifications for when I do go live. So until the next cast, I'd like to wish you a very good night, and thank you very much for watching and keeping me company dear friends. Take care. Bye-bye.